Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sidetrack here, bringing you episode 11 in my Let's Play series. So if you remember last episode, we kind of finally put together this whole Enderman spawning shebang. Yeah. So I have good news to report, and I have really good news that is kind of bad news. It's working amazingly. I mean, it's working amazingly. I knew it was going to work well, just kind of in theory, but wow. In fact, it's worked so well that I've had to turn off my machine. You can see I even have the doors open. And I'm building up a spare amount of concentrated essence berries. I kind of left my game running after last episode to try and get rid of some of this, well, I kind of spoiled it, to try and get rid of some of these essence berries, because we had, quite a stockpile while we were building it that had just kind of funneled into here, and now I think we actually have more than we started with. But yeah, we have a ton of Resonant Ender. Just a ton. This smeltery maxes out, I think it was around 39.75, something like that, or 750. So we have 35,000 millibuckets. That's 35 buckets of ender. That's crazy. Not to mention the fact that I've been kind of over here, grab an ender pearl, and then throwing them in this chest. Oh my god. So this has not really actually been running all that long. Yeah, so crazy. So we need to do something about this. We essentially, what's happening is that we've got two things going on. First off, it makes more endermen, kills more endermen faster than I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a very slow trickle, because we only have a couple of essence berries, and that one's not even hooked up because I just found it a little while ago. And yeah, I did not expect them to make this much concentrated essence berries. And furthermore, each time one of these berries, bushes berries, it usually pops off 2 or 3 berries, and that's generally enough for, 3 or 4 endermen, which is, a lot more than I thought was going to happen. So, long story short, we need to make a storage place for this resonant ender, and I was thinking maybe right along here. I was thinking what would be really cool to do would be to use open blocks tanks. They're pretty simple. All we've got to do is ride our elevator upstairs, which is so much fun. The tanks are pretty simple. Pretty much, you take some obsidian, and we're going to do 4 in each. Well, okay, we're going to do 3 apparently. And I'm going to make 6 tanks. Actually, I'll do 1 more. I have 1 more use for them. Alright, so we've got 8 tanks. Head on back downstairs with a splash. And stick them right here. So now we've got a nice visual, because these will start filling up with essence. Resonant ender. And each of these tanks can hold 16 millibuckets. So that's 16 buckets. Excuse me. Yeah, 16 buckets. Which is going to be plenty for what we have right here. In fact, it's actually going to be more than I really want to take out of here right now. Because I don't particularly want to empty this entirely. Because we do not want to empty out the iron. We only want... we only want to remove the resonant ender from there. We don't want to remove the iron. And this will probably remove everything in here, which is not really what we want to do. So the next thing we've got to think about is if we're going to set it up like this, and we're going to fill this up with resonant ender as mostly a storage place, and then, have it here for us. We may need to do another row. We're going to have to do something a little different with our attachment down here, because this is going to suck all the resonant ender out, and it will end up in there. And then it's going to try and suck out our molten iron, which then would create endermen that are not going to get damaged, which would not be good. So one of the things that now we have access to with all of these ender pearls is some better conduits. So if we go ahead and make the ender fluid conduits, they actually have a fluid filter on them. So we can tell it only remove the resonant ender. These are a little more difficult to make. They're going to require some fused quartz, which require nether quartz, or actually we're going to use blocks of nether quartz. And come back here. They're going to require vibrant alloy, which is going to take us a couple steps to make. It needs energetic alloy and an ender pearl. Hey, we've got lots of those. And the energetic alloy is going to take redstone, gold, and glowstone. So let's hop upstairs. We are going to need to use our alloy smeltery. And we're going to set it to alloys only. We're going to drop in all 3 of these. I'm going to make a couple of them. Just to mostly have them. We're only going to make 1 set of the ender fluid conduits. And it makes 8 at a time. So, alright, while that cooks, we're going to also have to think about how we want to do this, because we can send it straight out, and we could run the ender fluid conduits the whole length, but why waste all those ender conduits? Because I think this is something like, I don't know, 20 of them. I don't know how many we used. 15. The other thing we could do is quite simply, we may waste a little bit of resonant ender here. Put a tank down. The tank will connect. We really only want you to... Can I right click on it with a hammer? I can. We really only want you to extract without a signal. And then on the other side, we'll put our ender conduit. Ender fluid conduit. How is this looking? We are getting there. We've made 2. We've made 3. Excellent. So now we're going to throw our blocks of quartz in here. And this will work pretty quickly. Grab 2. And go ahead and throw all of this. See, I know I have some conduit binders around here somewhere. Oop, missed that. Oh wait, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to take our energetic alloy and our ender pearl. Throw it in here. That will get us the correct pulsing alloy. What is it? It's a vibrant alloy. Vibrant alloy. I don't know. I was thinking pulsing. That's these guys. Oh well. All right. So dun 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 dun. Excellent. So we've made a giant leap forward in technology here, just with the addition of our ender pearls. Fused quartz. Conduit binder. I probably made more fused quartz than I needed. And now we have our ender fluid conduits. We are going to need a bucket. I know I've got a bucket around here somewhere, because the way that you're going to set your... Maybe I don't have a bucket anywhere. Well, let's make one real quick. And if I have an extra, I'm sure I'll use it at some point in a crafting recipe. Watch, I had one right there. Nope, didn't. Alright, so the way you're going to set your filters is simply to take a bucket of whatever you want. In this case, resonant ender. Throw down our ender conduit. Click on it here. We're going to tell it to extract only resonant ender. So you just click on it and it doesn't waste the bucket or anything. And we'll say active whenever. Excellent. So we now have a kind of supply or a source of resonant ender. And let's go ahead and take a look back here. I kind of want to make sure that this will export in and out. Wonder if it's going to need... Well, we'll see how this goes. See, it's not extracting or inputting into that. Let's get around back here and look. I want it to insert into here. but it's not going to extract out of here. We can solve this quite simply. We are going to just do... I know I have some other conduits somewhere. There we go. Conduit, conduit. Let's join these together. Where's my crescent hammer? There we go. And right click on there. Extract. Extract without a signal. There we go. Now it'll fill it up. Excellent. That's what we wanted. And it cannot backtrack into here. So I think this should work. Let us do one more thing and then we'll turn the machine on and see how it works. So we are also going to, I noticed that there was a backlog of, especially in the beginning, or when the, when it was nighttime and this couldn't run, there would be a backlog of sludge, or I should say mob essence in our sewer that would then create problems. You got to end up with a whole bunch of little orbs hanging out here, which is not going to do anybody any good. So let's go ahead and add this in here. And again, we are going to have to figure out something with these conduits. We need to run and grab some more, but we'll go ahead and get this working right now. Close the doors. Close the doors. I think that's on. I suppose we'll find out. I disabled it here, so let's ignore redstone. Uh-oh. Standing too close to it. Oh, there we go. Ooh, and he's got a hat. I don't know what kind of hat that is. Oh, he's got an apple with an arrow on his head. That's funny. Alright, so... sewer is working well. Oh, there goes our mob essence. Told you, it kind of works kind of quickly. Let's move our resident ender down to the bottom. Oh, see, now this might be a problem. Well, we'll have to see how this works. Let's let it sit for a while. Alright. Wonder how we can work with that. Well, I'll have to figure something out. I'm sure we'll come up with something or other. The next thing I was thinking would be really cool is to move this switch and actually have an automatic or an easier way to turn this whole machine off and on. And at the same time of doing that, I can showcase one of the really cool things that Ender.io has managed to do. And we are going to use a redstone conduit. In order to do this, we're going to have to make some redstone alloy, which is just redstone and silicon in an alloy smeltery. Silicon, we are going to have to make ourselves a new block called the sag mill. So the sag mill is actually not too hard to make. It's actually quite simple, but it's going to require a couple of pieces. So we're going to need a machine chassis that we kind of made before. Basic capacitor, copper ingots, things like that. I'm going to go grab all the material and meet you at the crafting recipe, or bench. Alright, so we are set to make our first component, our basic capacitor. We now need to make ourselves our machine chassis. What am I missing? Machine... oh, I know. Haha. I need some iron bars, which I think I have somewhere. Here I was going off to grab all the ingredients, but fail. Okay, now we can make our machine chassis. There we go. So, machine chassis, and then I think I've got everything else right in our inventory. Got our piston, our chassis, iron nuggets, sag mill complete. Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and take our sag mill and let's, for now, stick it right on top of our survivalist generator so it'll get some power. Excellent. So now we need to go ahead and make that silicon for, what was it we were making again? Nope. What are dogs barking at? Back in a second. Nope, I think they're just barking at their shadow. Alright, so we are going to make redstone alloy, and we needed redstone and silicon. The silicon is what we needed. We needed to break down some clay. We could break down some redstone if I had some, or some regular old sand. But I think I've got a lot of clay blocks, so I think we're going to do that because that looks like the most efficient thing to do. Although let's grab some sand just in case. Wonder if we can break down sandstone. Guess we'll find out. It's redstone, silicon. Are these a... Okay, 80% chance. One of the things that the sag mill can do is if you give it either flint or a dark steel ball, which we don't have right now, it can increase the output of the sag mill. So let's grab some flint. We've got 11. I'm not doing anything else with it. We can always get some more from... So if you put 1, 2 in here, in a second, once we actually operate this, we need... Nope, hold on. Yeah. It will suck in some of that flint. So it sucked in 1 flint. And... Excellent. It actually lasts for a little while. Usually there's a progress bar there, but I don't see it. And that gives us a better chance of getting more silicon each time. So we're getting 2, we're getting 6, and you'll notice that, let's see if we can look at the sag mill recipe here. There is actually an 80% chance of getting 2 silicon, but we increase that chance by 200%. So that works out. So we're always getting double pretty much. Alright, so that's plenty of silicon. Well, we'll just let it keep on going. What else are we doing with it? And now we need to grab some redstone that I am running a little low on. How many silicon do I have? I have 8. Go ahead and make 8. And then we'll throw the redstone and the silicon into our alloy smeltery, and we'll make things. I got 4 more. Oh, there's the little progress bar. So you can see the flint will last a little while. Doesn't last the longest, but and then we'll use the next flint once we get to that, although not anytime soon. All right, so I'm gonna let this smelt down, and we'll go ahead and make some conduits, and I'll show you the awesomeness that we can do with it. All right, so we're gonna make a block that's a little different than just the standard redstone conduit. I actually went ahead and made 8 of them, and then realized that I wasn't recording. We are making the insulated redstone conduit. So that just, conduit binder around our redstone conduit. Now, the good thing about that is that you don't have to worry about stray redstone signal, which is good because we have it running past a door and some other machines, and we want to make sure that it doesn't send any power to those other blocks. All right, so to go ahead and, you've used, all kinds of these things before, but the really cool thing about Ender.io is that you can place all of your conduits in the exact same block. So that's one of the other, let me just show you right here, right in the same block. They use, whoops, that's, make sure you don't drop it below. I'm going to take some damage as I jump in here. Ouch. Not too bad though. But now there's going to be some blood mixed in with my smeltery stuff. Oh well. So this makes it really, really nice for dealing with all kinds of tight spaces, or in this case, when we don't really want to run things all over the place. So we are setting this redstone signal. We can go ahead and click, right click on the, just this square kind of grayish faceplate, and we can configure the essence. We really only want it to insert, although it doesn't particularly matter in this case. And then we can click down here. This is our redstone signal. And we really only want it to, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because we're not going to disable it. And this is not going to ever emit a signal. So we do want to, however, disable it from, can I reach it from here? I can. We want to disable it from going to our sewer because we don't want to turn the sewer off. So we can see that this block is now completely disabled. Open this up. While we're over here, we probably ought to connect this up appropriately. Essentially what we were doing before is we had it going straight out from the sewer. This is the fluid conduit line with the liquid mob essence in it. But now that we're having this tank here, we need to have it import on one side. So we're just going to right click it here. Go ahead and break that block for a second. We want to extract, always active. And on this side, we want it to only insert. Cool. So now once some more berries, actually we can demonstrate that. Berries are going to pop into here. Whoop. They're going to come through here and get inserted into our tanks. Very cool. So we are running our... I've got way too many things going on at once. We are running our insulated redstone conduit straight up here. And I think this looks like a pretty good spot to just kind of cap it off. I'm pretty sure that if we put a lever here, we should be able to activate it. I might be wrong. We might need to use... Actually, I bet you I know what we need to do. Because my thought, I'm guessing it probably just won't connect to a regular old... Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Won't connect to a regular... Oh, it does! Oh, we just have to right click on it. Well, that works out. So now we just have to figure out how we can get below this. I think... Wonder if that'll work. Oh, I guess we have to be above it. I don't even know what I'm doing. There we go. So, lever... Presto! Excellent. Is that going to affect the door? It shouldn't. Okay, it'll just close the door, which is actually I'm perfectly fine with. So we're applying a redstone signal. Let's go ahead and break this. One thing to note, you never want to break these conduits with your hammer. Always use a wrench. It's got to be a Buildcraft compatible wrench, or you can actually use the Yeta wrench, I think is what it's called, from Ender.io. Be careful not to break my auto spawner, and then get out of here before the... Oh no, I guess this redstone signal's on, so we should be good. Excellent. Let's give it a run. Let's see if it'll start throwing out some endermen. Turn that on. Fill in our hole. I'm going to have to go back later and make some nicer blocks here. There we go. Excellent. It is going to work. Cool. We'll turn it off for now so we don't have endermen squealing in your ear again. And, we got some blood in there from when I... Oh, well, we'll just kind of ignore that for now. Excellent. All right. So, next up, what I want to do is work on basically an auto-sorting system. I'm going to give you kind of the rundown. We are going to use item conduits. Now, if you remember, each item conduit uses a little bit of ender pearl. And I didn't want to go full on with that because I hate hunting for endermen, and I only had like 4 or 5 ender pearls. Not nearly enough to do what I want to do with these conduits. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make some of these pulsating irons. I'm going to let them sit in our alloy smeltery, and then I'm going to probably just go ahead and turn them into item conduits because you got to see how to do that last episode, and it's pretty simple. And then I'll get set up for our automatic sorting system and hopefully cram this in here this episode. Back in a second. Okay, we're back. So I may have gone a little overboard on the making pulsating iron and making pulsating iron ingot or nuggets. Yeah, but that's okay because we're gonna have plenty of item conduits. And really, what else am I using the ender pearls for? It's not like I've got a limited supply anymore. The next thing we want to do is we're going to actually make a dolly. Now, the dolly is pretty cool. It's from Java, which is the mod that gives us better barrels. And we are going to make a couple of wood to iron chest upgrades. These are from iron chests. And essentially what they're going to do is they're going to turn our boring old wood chests into something a little more cool. So basically what the dolly can do is you can right click on a chest, dang it, telephone, and the dolly will pick up the chest and all of its contents and allow you to move it someplace else and stick it down. So we can see that, yay, I've got all kinds of crappy flower things that I don't really want anywhere. So we're going to move this over here. And you will notice that while you're carrying things, you get a debuff. You actually have slowness of 2 and mining fatigue of 2. The slowness is really the thing that is annoying because, well, it makes you move really slowly. And so you can just go ahead and reorganize all of your chests. The other thing that we're going to do is use these wood to iron chest upgrades. Now what these do is we see that this is, that much stuff in this large chest. I can right click to add an iron chest upgrade, and it turns this into an iron chest. And then it's got all of its content still in there, but now it's got more storage space. So you can see regular chest, iron chest. Iron chest is a lot bigger, which is very cool. Bigger is always a good thing when it comes to chests. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade all of these chests, and we're going to use them for various purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and shift some of these around. Now, one of the other things that we're going to have to do is figure out what to do with these barrels. And currently what I'm thinking of is actually taking how much of this stuff is in here. Let me see if I make one more of those iron chest upgrades. 7, 8. Because I want to make sure. I actually went mining a little while ago, and our mining system is slowly processing. Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff in there. Oh. I probably ought to turn the redstone signal back onto that. Might be important. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's just do this. Do one thing at a time. Iron. Where did that iron that I grabbed go? I thought I grabbed iron. Oh, no, I already made the iron chest. My brain is not working, as usual. That phone call apparently rattled me. Not like it was anything important. So now we have an iron chest that's sitting here. Let's go ahead and move this. And I think what we're going to do is stick these barrels just kind of right here for the moment. I am actually going to move this chest. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. So one thing that I was thinking would be really nice to do is to go ahead and switch how this is all working down here. We're going to leave this the same for now. But what I want to do is make... Oh boy, where's my... I've completely lost myself. Make one more... one more chest here. And let's go ahead and stick the chest... let's put it right about here. So now this will still get all the items that we need, but coming out the top, we're going to put an item conduit. And now the way item conduits work, I kind of talked about this before. If you right click on kind of the plate right here, you can do it with your open hand or pretty much with anything, you can set the mode. So we wanted to extract everything out of that chest, and we are going to actually have it always active. We always wanted to extract everything out of that chest, and that will send things up into kind of our storage network. So now I can move this, stick it over here, and slide this barrel into place. We are going to dig underneath all of these chests, and then we're going to start running conduits along here. For the moment, we are going to tunnel behind these chests. Uh-oh. Ah. Alright, so that's connecting down there. And we're going to send conduit out the back and down the side. Excellent. So all those chests are tied into our network. They will all get, this will get cobble, and that'll get marble, and all that good stuff. And then we're just going to tunnel underneath all these chests. And lay down some item conduits. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then cut back once I get the next step up. Alright, so here's the basic setup. We're going to have an input chest where we put all of our stuff that we want to get sorted. We're going to have some barrels, and I'm going to have to add a couple more. I'm probably going to do some dirt, and maybe some clay and sand, depending on how much of those I have. I'm going to have a chest for all my ingots. a chest for wood and wood-related things, chest for all kind of our precious materials like diamonds and redstone and emeralds when we get them, random supply of crap that probably is mostly going to be building materials. So this dirt is in there until I get a barrel, but they'll have my nice stone, you know, sulfur, glass, stairs, things like that. Place for, right now, sand and gravel and clay, although I might do those barrels. A food chest, and, you know, different things for different mods. This one is actually, at the moment, kind of a catch-all, kind of random stuff that I didn't know where else to put. It's going in here. And yeah, so that's kind of how we're going to do it. Now, we're going to have to do a couple more things, and we're going to probably push those until next episode, because I actually have to make a couple of blocks that we don't have, and it's going to be a little bit of an ordeal, but that's okay. It's the fun part. But really quick, I wanted to configure our export chest and show you how this needs to be done. So we're going to right click on that you know, plate, and we need to actually change this, you know, keep this as extract, but we have to change it always active. So this will always extract anything you put in here, and it will send it into the network. However, there are some of our blocks, I think we set this one already, and oh, that one I actually changed. There are some things like our barrels that we need to say, actually, we only want you to insert. And we want anything that is of, you know, marble to go into that. So we're going to set the priority up to a higher priority. We want insert, give it a higher priority. Insert, give it a higher priority. Insert, give it a higher priority. Uh-oh. Ah, guys, that creeped me out. Oh, well, pfft, that was easy. Hearing guys run up behind you, nothing like that to get your heart pumping really fast, even though you know it's really not going to be anything terribly bad. So all of those are set to insert. Let's go ahead and put our wall back up here so that guys can't come in and attack me while I'm talking. And I also want to set the insert to this one, because this is where all of my ingots are going to go. And right now, that's the only thing I'm putting in here. So now I can go ahead and tell this to always be active. We'll see things start to fly out of here. You can see it works very quickly. And everything should end up in this chest. Because at the moment, everything else, you can kind of see with the little direction of the arrows, everything else is set to extract. And it's only going to extract with the redstone signal, so it's not going anywhere. But we're going to have to make a couple of items to actually utilize this system to the best of its ability. We need to make some item filters. We're actually going to probably use some advanced item filters. And to make those, we actually need this Z-logic controller, as in zombie logic. And to do that, we need a slice and splice. And we're going to have to make some solarium, which is not too hard. It's just soul sand and gold. But we don't have a slice and splice, so we can't really make our advanced item filters, which also means we can't make an existing item filter, which is going to be very useful. We could make a mod item filter, which we're going to need, but I'll go ahead and save that for next episode. So hopefully you enjoyed playing around with Ender.io with me today. I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope you're as pleased with the Enderman killer as I am. But anyway, until next time, this is Sidetrack signing off. Folks, have a great day.